we're going to be this way again, huh? Hey, how you doing, it's Casket? We are on the Valheim Longplay tutorial, walkthrough, whatever. We are preparing for the imminent demise of Bonemass. And I realize definitions matter, because in the title of the last one I said there was no Bonemass conspiracy, but there are people watching this. So I guess it's not just one person. See, a conspiracy is a group of people get together and they decide to do something, usually against the better interests of the government. That's what a conspiracy is. That's all. That's all, folks. Move along. These aren't the droids you're looking for. And whatever people think a conspiracy is, well, that's not it. It's a group of people getting together and saying this is what we're going to do, and it's usually in, to the detriment of the general public, or to the benefit of that group exclusively. Okay, so a monopoly is a conspiracy. Okay. What we're doing is finishing up the Boar Farm. Why was I thinking about definitions? Well, I was thinking about woke. Well, no, first I was thinking about the deep state, which made me think about woke. I need food and I need to rest to get my stuff up. I've got to grab some core wood, run that through the gate to the Boar Farm. Then we got to take a little trip on a boat. So I'm just going to take the long ship and kind of explore out there while we're going, so I'll have time to talk here. Alright. The deep state and the definition of woke. See? Woke isn't what you think it is, because they mutated the definition like they mutated the definition of the word vaccine. They changed it. They changed it on the fly, baby, to suit their narrative. I need like 28 core wood. Yeah, 29. Ain't gonna hurt me to have some extra. I may even want some extra. There we go. Let's run this through the old orifice so that I don't forget it. I'll give you the tour of the Boar Farm. I worked on it this morning. My shoulders really hurt me, so first of all, I'm grouchy. And if you hear me moaning or grunting, my shoulder's really bothering me, and that's my mouse hand and my coffee hand. So you may hear these sounds. Oh yeah, I got it over here. So we need 40 of that. And we got that. And we got 40 wood, and there's more wood around here if I need it, although I don't really think I'm going to. Although I may need to move the forge or the workbench. I'm not really sure. Well, there's workbenches up there. It might be good down there. Okay, what we're doing is building a gate here. Okay, but I'll show you what happened. It became a mess. I used a lot more stone than I planned on. But I got extra stone out of the deal, so. There's a big honking wall. What happened was, well, I started here, and then, like the land, there's a gap there. And I'm like, I don't like that gap, because then guys are going to get stuck in there, and I'll hear them grunting and doing whatever, and it happens. And so I said, okay, well, I'll just put another layer on the outside of the wall. And I did that. And actually, I was kind of happy with it till I got to the point where it's like, oh yeah, I kind of want to defend the wall, especially when there's trolls and such. I want to be up here shooting them, or have a way to not be in immediate danger and attack Draugr or whatever if my health is low. So, and I put these 2 outer layers in here, and I just went with the big. They're only 6 stone for the big ones, whereas these ones are 4 stone. It takes 4 of these to make a big one. 4 times 4 is 16, so it takes 10 more stone to use the little ones. I just said, screw it. And of course, look at how high this is. It's like, that's a lot of stone, even using the big ones. And then I ran the wall out this way. They won't be able to like get through this wall, so because it's earthen. This is just the topper here. It's like, yeah, the battlements. That's about it. The other side is just the same as this side. Did I hear that deer again? I thought I let him out. Finally let him out. He's back. Huh, I heard a deer. Now this, I don't know. I didn't come outside and look. No, it's good. This is going to be good. They ain't getting through that. Alright. And so, of course, we got the pig pen done. The pigs are all done breeding up, making 2 stars, so I'm going to be taking care of them too. And all I need to do is get that. I'm going to use the big gate that I use, like on the gate to the main base. So I need 40 bronze. I don't know that I could carry. I could probably carry 40 bronze in my backpack and run over there and do the small boat thing, but I kind of want to take a boat ride. I mean, bronze isn't the problem, it's carrying it. And I think we're going to take some extra too. Because upgrades over there and ain't going to hurt. I should take some copper too. I should take some tin. I mean, it's basically my secondary base. You know, an act of God happens and I end up. Can I carry all this? Oh, we're slow walking. Why are we going that way anyway? The boat's over this way. Oh, somebody has to do that. Who's gonna do that? So, the original meaning of the term woke was awake to the system. And this is not the racist system, not this is systemic racism system, which does exist. I'm not saying it doesn't. It means awake to the system, the deep state, etc., etc. That was the original meaning of woke. Well, this is problematic. I'm going to have to jump in here. We'll outsmart it. Alright, boat is loaded. I ate. Oh, I'm going to take care of that. I'm just going to pick that stuff up. I could run another one, I guess. And I know, hardly anybody alive realizes this. Okay, but it's the truth. That was the original meaning of woke, awake to the system, not all the shit that they've added onto it. Well, things change. Languages, meanings. They like to confuse meanings of things because then you get people arguing and they actually would agree if the definitions of the words that they were using were right. If they were using the same definitions for words. I'll give you a good example. Fascist. Okay? You got the right calling the left fascist, you got the left calling the right fascist. The fact that they consider themselves left and right is really weird to me, but okay. Because, okay, we'll go into that in a minute, but the word fascist, if you ask the guy who pretty much the father of fascism, Benito Mussolini, he said you could more accurately call it corporatism because it is the marriage of a corporation and the state. That was fascism. Okay, so quite frankly, both political parties in the United States of America are fascist. Okay, because they are definitely married to the corporations and they are the state. Okay, but that's not the definition everybody's thinking when they say fascist. They're thinking Nazis. Nazis was a political party, not to be confused with the ideology of fascism. Okay, and the political party was a piece of shit party, but they weren't socialist. Okay, can't be fascist and socialist both at the same time. It's just not possible. I'm sorry. Why did I come back in here? And I didn't even finish what I was doing. I had to put the stuff in. Anyway, I just find it ridiculous. Okay. Now, there are different meanings for fascism because people have been using it wrong for so long that it's changing. Okay. And now it's more associated with Nazism than fascism, but the original fascist meant that, well, the government works very closely with the corporations. In Germany, it was more a matter of corporations had to do whatever the hell the government said, or they were toast. And in Italy, it was Mussolini had to do what the government said, or he was toast. Okay? So it was switched around. Who had the most power? Okay. And quite frankly, that's probably why the fascists in Italy really sucked militarily, is because they were pretty much run by the corporations. Oh, but Kafka, corporations are so much more efficient. No, it's never been true. No, corporations are not more efficient than governments. For example, the whole welfare thing. You know, people are making money off of welfare and homelessness and all that. Funny how we never talk about that. Okay, because the government has now become an entity that turns over huge piles of cash to a corporation and says, yeah, here, do what you want. And there's no real accountability. Okay? Oh, they give them some guidelines, you know, like the homeless thing. They never solve anything. Okay? We could go back to the war on drugs and start there. We always got a war in this country. War on drugs, you got a war on poverty, you got the war on farmers. Well, actually, they never declared war on farmers, but they have it. Because they want the big businesses, are the guys that give them money, not mom and pop farm. Everything is corrupted now. That's all done. We're getting on the boat in the morning. There's going to be sea serpents out there. Where's my... Give me that. Got some frost arrows. I really should get more. This is kind of like the best arrow for sea serpents. No. Right in here. Okay. I need freeze glands. Just make a wood, obsidian, and feathers. Uh-oh. Need some more wood. I know wood's low in here. Oh, I brought some in. Okay. Yeah, I've been bringing it from over there. I had to take down the whole palisade. I know a lot of wood. There's a whole bunch of wood sitting around, too. Well, if you talk about the two political parties in this nation, and I only say two because that's all it's going to end up on the ticket, right? I mean, both the Democrats and the Republicans seem to want to sue third parties now. Say, oh, you're not allowed on the ticket because these signatures are false. Because you gotta get so many signatures to get. They don't have to get any signatures, but everybody else has to get enough signatures to get on a ballot. So, what the Democratic Party did with the Green Party in, I don't remember which election. I think it was the 2000 election. Yeah, that was the one, because COVID. Not 2000, 2020. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, I got enough food. I should wait, like, don't have to wait at all. It just started flashing on the 13. One was at 13 minutes. Sausage has 5 minutes more than the other one, so. Okay, let's see if we can find a sea serpent. Uh-oh. Better. Really should change this habit. Put it there. I don't want to swim. Now I'm wet. I gotta get a fire down here. I'm gonna build a fireplace into the dock. That's how I roll. I can dry off. And this asshole's coming. So anyway, I think everybody can agree that the political parties are a wee bit corrupt. Just a wee bit. By money. Now I'm kind of at the point where I kind of feel that just a tad. Saying they're corrupted by corporations, it's not really accurate anymore. The reason why is both, not that the asset managers, what I call them, what is the stupid name that they have for these guys who are buying everything? Equity managers, they're buying all the power plants now. They bought all the damn houses. That's why we got a housing crisis. They're running a scam with, well, that's an old Fed scam, or, well, that group of subprime loans. But this time it's not houses, it's automobiles. I can't count the number of times. That's why I was thinking about that. And I was also thinking about the IRS giving my name to a whole bunch of, or the post office, it's one of them two, to a whole bunch of predatory loan companies. I'm getting all these emails from my corporation, which I haven't done anything with in like 10 years. Okay, when I put in a change of address, the IRS sent me a letter and said, oh, we changed the address for your corporation for you. Which I didn't really want anyway, but it really doesn't matter because I'm not doing anything with it. In any case, then, as I said, I'm inundated by emails from these folks telling me they got all kinds of money for me. Free money! I would guess 30 or more percent interest. Probably more. We're going that way. Oh. Maybe we'll go this way a little bit. Well, ain't much of a win. Should I get out and blow? So anyway, when it comes to the political parties, they're corrupted by money. I'm just saying that the money is in the hands of a very few people now. 85% of all Fortune 500 companies are owned by the 0.01%, which is not the 1%. 1% is 1.0%. We're talking 0.01%. 85% of all stocks in the Fortune 500. What does that mean? Well, that's how you get DEI. That's how you get all this stupid shit going on. These stupid ad campaigns. How they all seem in lockstep with shit like the trans agenda. You know. Because they are. It's all funded by the same people. So, the term fascist is more oligarchic than fascist. More, I will say corporatism instead of fascist. It's more oligarchic than corporatist. Okay? Because that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the corporations running the government, because the corporations are all run by very few people. So, really the term fascism doesn't really apply. Okay? Anymore. I mean, at one time, kinda did. We've still got some corporations that are... No, I don't even know. Is anything... If it's a Fortune 500 company and 85% of all of it is owned, it's like... everything's corrupted. Private equity. Yeah, it's more like public equity firms. That's why it breaks my brains, because they're using public money. They're using pension funds and shit like that. That's how it all started. The law changed. And they're using that to make investments in companies and buy companies and all that. You know, you buy enough stock in a company, you own it. And then you elect the board of directors. You elect the president and the CEO. That's how corporations work. You're the majority shareholder. I mean, other people can vote. Is it going to make a difference? Most stocks sold on the stock exchanges, and even voting stock anyway. So, these guys are buying the voting stock. And what they've done is they've loaded up these corporations with debt. That's why you go to your favorite restaurant now and it's $10 for a hamburger. Because what they did is they said, well, they put their own board of directors in, their own CEO, their own president, which they're going to put in the next company too. Same guys. Okay. These guys have professional board of directors, and it's all a little club. And they move them all to the next company they're going to rape. And what they do is they take out a whole bunch of loans on the assets of the company. And then they buy back the stock from themselves to the company, which at an inflated price, which they just made bank. Okay? And then it's like, bye! Because they don't own any stock anymore. They don't give a shit. They just bought it back from themselves. Because they controlled the corporation. Should be illegal, but it's not. So that's where we stand in America. The question is, why is that happening? And now we're back to the three factions of the deep state. Okay, but really, what I was trying to talk about was Bitcoin and how Bitcoin came about, because it's a really fascinating story. And that's why I was talking about the three factions of the deep state. Because Bitcoin might be the deep state killer. Now, if you don't know anything about Bitcoin, don't confuse it with other cryptocurrencies. It's not the same. Okay, they try to conflate it as being the same as just another cryptocurrency, but it's not. Okay. We're not going anywhere past here. I was over by the Brute Tower, and I put my seafloor walking boots on and was trying to level it out with the old pickaxe. I was doing it old school, except for the whole under the water thing. Breaking up rocks that I used building the residential wing you just put on. And I'm like, loaded down with rocks, and I'm like, okay, I gotta dump these on the shore, because that's what I was doing. I had a little chest up there. I was dumping the rock in. I come just out of the water in my seafloor walking boots. You could have running, and I'm face to face with a 1-star bear, which actually is very hard to kill. Kind of like the 1-star troll that killed me. Well, this guy didn't kill me, because I went back in the water and got underneath the deep part, and then but as close to shore as I could get, and took the boots off, because you can take the boots off underwater, and got back up on the shore. And he swam back to shore because he was trying to get me in the water, but I was too underneath the water for him to get. I mean, he hit me back into the water, and I'm like, here I am. Not going anywhere fast. I dumped some of the stone and took the boots off and got up to the shore, and in the end I kicked his ass. But it was a rude awakening, because, you know, I've been really what do you call it? I've been mean to the bears. I have been mean to them. All right. So anyway, back in the 1860s, before the Civil War, if you don't know numbers and all that, before the Civil War in the United States of America, a group came to the United States of America. Okay, if you listen to my previous discussions on this, I'm calling that group the Shadow Mafia. Okay, that group turned into, well, a 3-letter agency and a 5-letter agency later, from a particular religious group with a particular ideology, although you could separate those religion and the ideology, because yes, they really should be kept separate. Okay, but originally this group came to America, and some of the people in this group were actually felt like Americans, and others did not. Okay, so there was a schism in this group. There's a quote from Benjamin Franklin regarding this religion. He says, you don't want these people in your country, because you just, in 200 years, people are going to hate you. And that was even before this group got there. This group came from Germany, by the way. Okay. Wait, is this the right way? Oh, well, I'm totally off course. What did I do? Must be that way. Right, I've got to go through that passage that I said to myself, Self, you gotta... Yeah, we gotta go through that passage. That's the river there. Wait a minute. So this mountain is that mountain. So I'll go this way. And we're not going to have the wind. See? We only had the wind because I fucked up. So anyway, this group had a philosophy that if you own the money, you own the country. There's another group that also had this philosophy, not the same group. I call them the bankers. The other group I call the bankers. This one I call the shadow mafia. They both have the same philosophy. If you control the money, you control the country. They are kind of opposed. One is run by a family, the R family, let's say, just for the sake of argument, and they control things called central banks, which is a private company. I don't know that you call it a corporation, even though they have shares. And they've succeeded in putting these central banks in a whole bunch of countries. Okay, and quite frankly, if you don't have one, you're at risk of an invasion. And it's kind of how that works. Now, this isn't a new thing. Okay, this is also from the 1600s. Okay, and they were attempting to do that in America, and it didn't happen out. And then there was a civil war, and it didn't actually happen that the R family got a central bank in America in the early 1900s, or it was late 1800s. I'm not really sure, but then it got taken out by Andrew Jackson. Trail of Tears guy. Is that the right guy? Anyway, Trail of Tears guy. He did something good. He got rid of the central bank. But then they came back in 1913. A ship sank with a whole bunch of people opposed to it on it, and they were able to get it pushed through Congress. We have the Federal Reserve now. So that's one faction of the deep state. So they're going about their business stealing money from the American people, which is their business. That is literally their business. You can say what you want. It's bullshit. That's their business. How could I be out of arrested bonus? Well, this is taking some time. If they're actually in the business of controlling the economy and keeping it from crashing keeping it from crashing, why does it crash every 7 to 10 years? Pretty much like clockwork. And why does the money always go upwards when it crashes? Hey, look, there's a fire over there. You don't want to be out of arrested bonus if you run into a nice little sea serpent. You want to be able to fight him. Well, yeah, stamina is a huge thing in that. Well, somebody gave me some wood. The guy at the dock said, hey, take some wood with you so you can get your arrested bonus halfway there. I don't think we're halfway there. Oh, we are going here. I guess we're probably about halfway there. That river sucks, though. I gotta get in that river. The river's no fun. Okay, so that's one group. Okay, and as I said, there's the Shadow Mafia, which is another group, also bankers. Okay, in a way, except mafia bankers. Mark Twain Bank is an example of a mafia bank. They are not part of the Federal Reserve System. Yeah, there's a bank called Mark Twain. Why is there rocks down there? Oh, we're resting. Give me my wood back. Oh, it's too late. I think I should grab some more, though. Must have been bad guys came at me. I killed bad guys. How long is this stuff lasting? I mean, I don't think I've been over here in quite a while. Alright. And then, Well, there's a military-industrial complex as the other group. Now, they were not corrupted until after World War II. Okay. So, these other two groups are a bit older than these guys. That group. These are factions of the deep state. Okay. They have a lot of pull. Pretty much what one of these three wants is going to happen. What the American people want is not going to happen. That's why we call it the deep state. Your representative is pretty irrelevant. So how did the Shadow Mafia get so much power? Well, they had a guy, I guess you could call him the idiot savant of Bitcoin. Because you could call him that if you wanted to. His group, the Shadow Mafia, were Midwest, basically. Not to be confused with the Italian Mafia. Okay? And they decided, well, you know what? Let's go someplace where we're not fighting these Italians all the time and make our own shit, you know? And right about that time, gambling was a big thing. People used to go to Cuba and gamble before Castro came to power. And Cuba was a very corrupt place at that time. And the mafia, the Italian mafia, ran all the casinos, and the Shadow Mafia could see that, well, there's good money in that. So they went to Nevada and made their own damn city. You know it as Las Vegas. Okay? Now you might be thinking, well, wasn't that Bugsy dude? Well, that Bugsy dude was a certain religion. He wasn't Italian. Okay? So they did all that. And, well, they had a lot of power still in the cities because, you know, control the money and all that. And New York City was one of them. Okay? We got World War II going on. And they're trying to make the bomb. And this is where the military-industrial complex kind of gets created. You got a general called Groves. And he's running the bomb program, the Manhattan Project. Okay. In any case, he's doing all this, and they're trying to keep it all top secret. And this all started from a letter from Einstein saying, you know, the Germans are going to work on this. You better do this. And they believed him. Okay, yeah, we got room. I don't know why I'm so close to shore. I should be away from shore, but yeah, because the wind keeps failing me. Well, if I got a paddle, I'm going to move out a little bit so I don't get whacked by Hank on the shore, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, Groves goes to the president and tells him that, you know, there are rumors from some of the people coming in, because they started Operation Paperclip before the end of World War II. And people don't know that either. Okay. And they were bringing people in to work on this project. The bomb. Was that a sea serpent? What the hell was that? Oh, just big copperfishes. And the rumor was that the Nazis were sending submarines into New York Harbor and spying around, going around with scientists who came in on the submarines and trying to figure out what the Americans were up to, recruiting all these people from Europe. And Groves tells FDR that, well, we don't have the people to control the harbors. You know. Now, this guy was being a real patriot. You know, he believed in America. Okay, it's all parallax. And so he wants this problem solved. And somebody suggested, I don't know who exactly, that they use the mafia, who controls the longshoremen. And FDR thought it was crazy, but it's like piss on a spark plug if he thought it would work, you know? So that's what they do. They recruit the mafia to do it. And that was done through, I've left out some history here, through a guy that had worked with the government before. Okay, from the Shadow Mafia. Okay. So I guess I should really go through that. They were trying to get computers, and the Shadow Mafia owned these companies. Okay, it was Burroughs, and then it was Sperry, and then it was Unisys. Okay. Great. Great. We're about to go into a river, and I can't see a damn thing. It's here somewhere, but there's rocks here too. I know, I hate this river. You know what? We're just gonna sit for a minute till I can actually see till the moon comes out. So the military goes to this guy and says, hey, we got this problem. They tell him the problem. And these guys were patriots too, as I said. A lot of that group were patriots. Okay, and they're like, yeah, this country's been good to me. So you're ethical criminals. Okay. So they help out and they get the Italian mafia involved. And the longshoremen. What the hell? I heard a skeleton. Well, you hit my boat. I will jump in the water and beat you around the head with my club. Fog and nighttime. Oh, I see. There's a dolman right there. Is he pushing my boat? I think he's helping me out. Maybe not. I feel like I'm moving forward again. Yeah, he's pushing on the boat. I'm gonna sit down. So anyway, that's going on. So one of the guys in the Shadow Mafia, pretty much the leader of the Shadow Mafia, even though he had a lot of power in the Shadow Mafia, let's say it that way. He had this company that sold computers to the government, to the IRS, and to the Federal Reserve. And he was spying on them with the back doors. He knew everything the Federal Reserve was doing with the money, which the Federal Reserve didn't want anybody to know. Okay? But the Federal Reserve doesn't know this yet. Okay? But this was already going on, and I'm just throwing it in there for later. Okay? And so Grove's group and the Mafia, you know, they got to interact, so they get a little close. And now Groves is still a patriot. And they needed things for the Manhattan Project that this group was able to get them when he couldn't get them. Oh, okay, we should be able to go. And they successfully caught a bunch of spies and I guess submarines. I don't know. But we're trying to get into New York Harbor. I wouldn't even try New York Harbor. I'd come in somewhere else. I don't know. You know, because, yeah. Although New York Harbor probably easier to hide, but it's probably the busiest port on the East Coast. You got like Charleston and shit like that. I suppose you come in there, you know, with a German accent to Charleston, you might get your ass hung from a tree. Yeah, who knows? Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Hey, give me a push to the side there. You ain't no help. You'll never catch me alive, 'cause I'm gonna die on the rocks. So all that goes down. With the help of the Shadow Mafia, the bomb is created. After the bomb was created, Groves, the general, made an offhand comment like, well, I want a fucking war. Which got to Eisenhower, and he did not fucking like that. And he pretty much cashiered Groves. Cut him out of shit and all that. Because his feeling was, yeah, you got, you know, Americans giving their lives over here, and you're just screwing around with a bunch of fucking scientists, mostly of a certain religion, you know, doing that. Now, I kind of really should talk about this Shadow Mafia and how they felt about a certain ideology. They didn't like this certain ideology. They also didn't like the ideology of the R family, which is why he was spying on them, which is the root of this ideology. So there was a schism in the Shadow Mafia, which half went the way of ADL and APAC, and the other half stayed the Shadow Mafia. So you can put half of the Shadow Mafia that was, you know, a Shadow Mafia into now, you know, the banker category of the Federal Reserve group, because they're loyal to that group because of the ideology. Okay. Well, what pissed off the most powerful guy in the Shadow thing was the whole. Yeah, we're not going to go into that because this video got banned. It had to do with money, okay, and where money was going in Germany, okay, and back to the people who kind of run the Federal Reserve, okay. I don't know that I'm going the right way here. Yes, we are, but we gotta go out a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna go around this point. So now you get a schism in the military. You got a general who was working with the CIA to bring in scientists, was working with the Shadow Mafia to get equipment to do a job that he was given, okay, and then all of a sudden he's the bad guy because he made a comment, and he's pretty fucking pissed about the deal, okay. Well, as far as I know, he got out and was CEO of I don't know what company for a few years, but then when Eisenhower was president, this was after the war, he got back in by whatever means necessary. I don't know, okay, but as ARPA, now known as DARPA, okay, he ran ARPA, now known as DARPA, and that is the core of the BIC, okay? They are HMFIC. If you don't know what that means, look it up. It's a military term. And then they began the long road of corrupting the entire military. What is their ideology? Who fucking knows? But they're responsible for COVID. That's not a good thing in my opinion. Everybody wants to blame this Chinese lab and Fauci. Well, Fauci was working for the DOD. Okay. When they passed the Patriot Act, they inadvertently made working on viruses in the United States a treasonable offense where you'd be hanged till you're dead. Okay? And well, the NIH didn't like this because then they couldn't get that sweet cash from selling the technology to the pharma, and the DOD didn't like this because they wanted to do research, you know, on bioweapons. So the solution was get the NIH to make labs in other countries, and it started with the Ukraine in 2014, and then it kind of switched over to China when it was pretty apparent there was going to be a war because a certain group was pushing for war. Well, I remember there are foreign groups involved too, and NATO is its own little group. Defensive organization that found out they pretty much didn't have a job anymore. I think I went the wrong way. I didn't get past that point. I'm just so used to following the coastline. I can make this. But that's not really where I was going. So post-World War II, okay? Now you got this Shadow Mafia guy working with the Mick guy, okay? And they each considered themselves patriots of America. And there was other things going on, okay, with the Shadow Mafia, where the Fed got the government to try to prosecute the main powerful guy I was talking about, the idiots amount of Bitcoin, okay, for $3 million that disappeared from a casino in Cuba just before the revolution, like 3 days before the revolution, that they were unable to find. Well, they get an arrest warrant for him. So now you got to go into the ideology camp, because the ideology camp said, just come over here to our brand spanking new country and we'll protect you. And he didn't like these guys, but, you know, and he poured the storm. In the end, they did arrest him, because he had come back. But before he came back, he told the IDF, which was another core group of this group that came before 1860 to America, okay, and the leader of Israel, that he was just going to tell them the truth. And what was the truth? They didn't know. They didn't know what he was talking about. The truth was he'd been spying on the Federal Reserve for 30 years. He knew what they were doing with all the money, okay? And he told them, you don't back the fuck off. Well, okay, so the arrest happened, I do believe, during Eisenhower's administration. This is why it's important to know history. Who was Eisenhower's vice president? Nixon. Okay. Well, when Nixon became president, okay, is when it came to a head, and his attorney general, I don't know, was it Richardson or whatever, was hell-bent on prosecuting the guy. So Nixon just got rid of the guy, brought in somebody from a certain ideology that we're not allowed to talk about. And then they didn't put the guy in jail because he was too old. one of them, justice served things. He was too old and he wouldn't live long in jail. In the meantime, the Federal Reserve knows their gig is up. And they have a problem with fiat money, and they've got to destroy fiat money because they can't hide the secret anymore of what they're doing with the money, because they don't know how he's getting the information, but they know this guy do everything. And their lawfare didn't work with the $3 million that nobody could find, which is kind of funny, but neither here nor there. Because this guy said to the government and to Groves, he's bankrolling what you would call the shadow government that Groves has created through DARPA. Okay, Groves is dead now, but everybody is dead now from these groups that was alive at this time. Basically, they've handed the reins off to new people who seem to have been selected because they're incompetent. They've all fulfilled the Peter principle. They've risen to their level of incompetence, and the people who were the real brains behind the thing, they're all gone. So you've got organizations that are too complex for the people running them. Where was I? I was back into World War II, where this all happened in the 50s and 60s, just before I was born, and my fucking paterfamilias knew about this shit. I knew damn well, I had a good idea who killed Kennedy. Okay, but anyway, and they were pissed about the whole thing. Okay, because I come from a military family, enlisted, so that's why I kind of see a distinction between officers and enlisted, because they ain't gonna bother corrupting the enlisted men. In any case, so this guy's like, yeah, well, the Federal Reserve knows I'm watching them. I can't really use their system anymore. How do you transfer money? You use ACH system, okay, which is all run by Unisys computers. That's why it takes a fucking week, and they don't even know how to reprogram the computers, which is such a ridiculous thing. But that's why we still have to deal with, it might take a week to 10 days to transfer your money with ACH in an age where we can transfer money with PayPal. Oh, speaking of Seattle Mafia that works with the mix, you got the PayPal Mafia. They know all this shit. Especially Teal, but Musk even knows this shit. There she is. So this guy, who was still alive after this court case, he's like, go find me the smartest computer guys you can. I have to create my own banking system. Okay, so that can continue operating, funding the shadow government. Okay, well, they're running drugs and everything. I mean, the CIA is involved in all this too. I just think of them as foot soldiers, quite frankly. It's never the guys that you see that are running things. Ooh, not really room to park a damn longboat in here, but we'll squeeze it in. So he finds a guy of a certain religion who is just finishing up a degree at, one of them colleges. But he actually comes from a poor family, which this guy, the Shadow Mafia, he came from a poor family. He came over from Germany and they had nothing, and, well, they became crooks because it was profitable. In any case, so he gets this guy. And, well, this guy went, right after he graduated, after he got his graduate degree or whatever the hell, he created 4 Danish companies, okay? One was cryptology, the other was computer software, one was computer hardware, which later became Dominion. Dominion, as in we count the votes, motherfuckers. In any case, long story short on this, what he was working on was this project for the Shadow Mafia of creating. I gotta get that out of there. Get the wood. How am I gonna do all this shit? Okay, I have a plan. 12% of a plan. I need my 40 core wood. Right, so he's working on this. He also gets a guy in there who is responsible for writing the TPIP for Tor, Dark Web, which is kind of like using the internet to have a separate internet. Okay. Wait, I don't need this much. I need 40. Okay. What am I forgetting? Oh, I might need a damn workbench down there. Well, we'll fake it till we make it. I think we're ready. If I put this all in there, can I walk? Oh, yeah. Hey. I have to get back on the gun wall. You can't jump on the gun wall when you're wearing these boots. We have doors. Can I get up there? Sad. So, dude dies before they ever got their shadow banking system done. And without the Shadow Mafia's money, dude with his 4 little Danish corporations, well, he runs that shit into the ground because it really wasn't producing anything. A guy from a guy who had worked at, where did he work? Was it Sperry to start with? And then, well, basically, a guy who was Google before Google, okay, bought the company that had the software that they were working on. He hired a guy. Oh, no. Actually, the guy, I guess, came with it. A graduate student, a Danish guy. Okay, who had some mental issues, I guess. I don't know. Who knows? Because, you know, when they say that, whenever they say that, then I'm always suspicious. Because in the end, he killed himself. That guy is, what is the guy? Shigeshi Takamoto or whatever the fuck. He's the one who created Bitcoin from that software. Okay. Except the joke is on them. They can't really use Bitcoin, although they did use the dark web for stuff. Okay. They just couldn't do it because Bitcoin is pretty inviolable. It's actually the centralized banking killer. Okay. But the humor is that it came out of all this manipulation of the system that they're doing. I think I'm gonna need more than 100. I better grab more. Otherwise I have to come back out. I just need to, you know, fill in stone around the doors. I think I can use all this to carry all of this. There we go. Do I need any wood? Well, there's probably going to be gaps. Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to turn a ship. It's not going to come here with the long ship unless I move the cabin, build a dock here, because I don't think you can come in there and turn that ship like I did, because I needed that whole entrance to do that, and I'm only going to have the doorway when I'm done with this. So on that. Yeah, this is going to be problematic. Need to like move the boat over there, is what I need to do to get that upper part. Ooh. Shit. Ah! And we're walking. Gonna hit the boat. Oh. Or maybe it did hit the boat. I don't know. There we go. I can live with that. I do not think this door... Oh. I stand corrected. I think they are taking water damage. Well, actually here we might be able to do something about it. I don't know. I'm going to get out and look. I mean, since I have that raised up there, yeah, it's still higher than right there, but if I took some pole wood and went up, I could build a little roof to keep the dock doors from... Oh, well, if they're deteriorating from water, then they're... Yeah, never mind. Stupid idea. Just have to deal with it. I see that there is gaps there, but you know what? I'm just going to leave it. I don't know how I'm going to get that boat out of here, though. Plus, there's still metal in that boat. I have to do two things. I have to get my stone cutter. And I have to get the metal out of the boat. Should probably brought some iron too. Oh well, it's not like it's gonna be a lot of crafting done here. And I already did get level 2 repair, so space is done. I'm calling it done. I gotta get my boat home though. Suppose I'll go sleep. Deal with it in the morning. So anyway, that's why I said Bitcoin came from the deep state. But they don't control it. They're like, oh shit, we done fucked up. And I think it's funny. So I was thinking about January of 2025. Then I was thinking about November of 24. Was it November? You know, something happens that just seems weird. For example, let's say the entire Air Force is on a training exercise and jetliners fly around America for hours before running into some buildings. You really got to ask yourself, what's really going on? And then nobody gets in trouble. Then you're like, really, what's going on? So I was asking myself about what was really going on November 24 in New Jersey. Okay, because first of all, the government didn't want to say shit about it or do anything about it. There was a whole bunch of drones flying around, all kinds of weird shit going on in the air. So my supposition at the time is they were looking for a nuclear device. I still believe that. I mean, if it was chemical or biological, you know, the drones ain't really going to help them. They do have sniffer drones, but I don't think so. But, you know, get close enough with the drone and they'd be able to find a nuclear device. Because we just can't block all the radiation, no matter what you do. So, I was thinking about that. Then I was thinking about January. Well, it's this recent thing that I was really thinking about. I was thinking about why are they acting like total idiots? Because seriously, they're acting like total idiots. Like, like, they don't have two brain cells fucking rubbed together. First of all, with the high-powered rifle story, I mean, what are they gonna do, I guess? But, you know, if it was a 30-06, they hit him in the throat. I'm sorry. That's not what would have happened. It's just not the way it is. That's not the way it is in the real world. You can believe what you want, but you believing it doesn't make it the way it is in the real world. So I'm just wondering what the hell's going on. And like I said, I was thinking about these two things. What I said at the time was, you know, I think they're looking for a nuke. Why would they be looking for a nuke in New Jersey? Well, there's ports in New Jersey. It would be a foreign nuke coming in. Well, who would have done that? Well, I can only think of one guy, one group of guys who would do that, especially with that timing. Okay, who didn't seem to have a certain person under their control. Didn't seem to have. Okay. What would they do? Blow up Washington? You know, I wouldn't put it past this certain group of ideological people. I don't need a stone back there. Looking for a place to put it. Okay. But then it just went away, because as things do, because the media's bought out and the government's bought out, and it's like, it was nothing. It was some company doing some testing, some advertising. What was it? I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it was very weird. And they had the permission of the FAA and all this. Okay, it's still very weird. That why didn't they say that to begin with? Because they didn't say anything. They just like totally tried to ignore it. And then when they did have to say something, then it was like, well, we don't know. We're checking into it. You know, it just reminded me of 9/11. Like, yeah, we were doing an exercise. Sorry about that. Whoops, whoopsie, we dummies. Yeah, no, I don't think so. You know, and no heads rolled. No heads rolled at all. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I mean, at least they're to cashier some damn enlisted people. They didn't cashier nobody. So, it's just very odd. Anyway, I was thinking about that. And then I was thinking about what happened in January of 25. And does anybody remember that? 'Cause I don't. I'm an American. I don't remember back, you know, the beginning of this year. Oh yeah, I don't need gray dwarf eyes here. Alright. To do one thing. I know I got carrots. Hi guys. How's it going? Not the one. You tried. Nice try. No fighting. Not the one. Good boy. Gonna take a jaunt through the orifice before we take the boat ride back. I guess I could have left some leather scraps there. I think I'm overflowing out of here. Yeah, I might just go back. Well, I have to go back anyway, so. I'm gonna get a coffee. Then we're talking about January 2025. What happened in January of 2025? Nobody remembers. Oh yeah, I got these over here. Overflowing also. I've got to come up with a place to store stuff. My coffee's cold though. I get all confused when my coffee's cold. I'll be right back. I'm back. Food's okay. I got enough in my bag. Guess we can head back if I can get that boat out of there. If not, I'm just gonna destroy it, I guess. No, actually, I ate twice on the last trip. This one might be a little longer. Oh, yeah, I gotta take this back there. I might build a storage shed over there. Take that cottage out, build a dock, and just some storage over there. It's got a nice wall around it. Keep wanting to go in there. I want to go here. Everything is definitions. Definitions keep changing. I mean, they said trickle down. Trickle down works. They tried that for, what, 40, 50 years? Money just keep going upwards and not downwards. You know? So, during COVID, they changed definitions. The banks are failing again. So they did quantitative easing. Sounds way better than trickle-down economics. Quantitative easing. What did they do? They gave those banks, and actually rich people too, and said, yeah, fix the economy. Which has never worked. And then they do stock buybacks. And, oh, wrong way. I'm gonna have to go forward first. And all that, and well, they don't really spend the money on the economy. Just like they didn't with trickle down. I can get the tail end in there. I can scrape this. You got this, baby. I don't feel like I'm going anywhere. Am I actually hitting that? Yeah, I am hitting that over here. Shit. Look like I got a little room to go there, though. Why aren't you going? Because the rudder's hitting that? Yeah, that's it. Hit that door. And then it fucks up. Come on, Beastie. You got this. I want to break free. I think we're at an impasse again. Might have to get out and push again. Oh, I got it. Rock the boat, baby. Yeah, that didn't help. That did not help. I don't think it's gonna fit through there. I might have screwed up, but I thought these gates were just as wide as the other ones. They may not be. This is the way I can test this. Oh no, these ones are wider. Oh no. I screwed the pooch here. Ow. Connectivity easing. Continuity of government. Yeah, it's not going in there. What happened in January? 2025 was Black Hawk helicopter flew into an airplane it had no business being near at all while it was on a continuity of government mission. Turns out nobody in the government was killed that we know of. See what I'm saying? Only takes 25 wood, huh? So my contention, or my theory, is that, yeah, these guys are fighting. Okay. Maybe somebody didn't like the whole DOD, you know, bioweapon thing. There might be some wood up there. Uh-oh. So there is some wood here. Okay. and decided, well, this group got to be taught a lesson or what have you. But now we got a bunch of guys playing in the background. They seem like total idiots. And so, my guess is they were successful, whoever they went after. Of course, they blamed it on Pilot. And of course, there was blaming it on DEI and women in the military and all that. Well, those women in the military flying them choppers are just as competent as the men. I personally have to call bullshit on that. I got everything for that? Yeah, I grabbed the stone. Shit. The detail, no. I gotta put my boots on first. We have to fix this with the other gates. It'll be fine, he said. I thought those were just as wide as this other one. I was wrong. Well, I'm gonna have to haul this shit out of here too. Yeah, not a lot of room in my bag, huh? Shit. I can pick it up, but I can't get up that little lip and I can't reach it from there, so I'm just gonna get rid of the boat. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. I mean, they have totally screwed the pooch on this, but then there could be infighting between the clans there. You know, with the ideological shadow government half and the Fed against the other guys, the Mick and the, you know, not insane shadow mafia group. 30 of you, please. Wait. How many? Yeah, it's a long ship. There's a long ship. I'm gonna have 20 more wood and 20 more core wood when I take out the other door. And I shouldn't need stone, but I have some stone on me in case I do need some. Let's see what we can carry out of here now. Where'd all the wood go? Oh, hello. Yeah. You know what? Give me that. Haha. Can't jump when you're overburdened. The seafloor walking boots don't make you overburdened. It just makes you really stout. Problem is, we don't know the motivations of these people. Well, we do one group. They want to make the predictions of the Talmud come through. True. That's not good for anybody. I think they're going to end up surprised. Unless God is on 3-Eye Atlas. Right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. Need more boxes here. Oh, I need that. I need the 50. I'll keep the 20. There we go. So the prediction in the Talmud is basically Revelations 2. That a certain country, oh wait, are they recognized as a country? Okay, no, we know who we're talking about. Is going to fight the entire world, and then God is going to intervene, and a certain country will win. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Give me the 50 out of there. Oh yeah, it's like 1 meter longer. So that should be right here. Alright, good. Just need to fix this up. Oh, asshole. Bottom 4 works. Shit. It's not above the water. It's barely below it, but I kind of have to open it. Okay, first off, let's put you up there. Better. So my guess is they're trying to intentionally piss everybody off. They're succeeding. Just keep it up. I mean, okay. Alright. I'll keep some stone here. Now I might be able to move that corwood over there. Alright. Oh, more stone. Oh, there's room in this box, because I gotta take the boat out. Is it only 10 deer hide? Oh, oops. Ah, yes. So what twisted webs we weave. Well, that was the quickest boat ride ever. What the? Uh-oh. Oh well. They use firewood over there. I'll use it for furniture or something. Hang some stuff. I am really leaning towards building some kind of storage over there. I can just get the stuff out of here. It's either there or here, and more than likely it's not going to be one of them things where things like the gray dwarf eyes I'm never going to really have less because they're not really used for a whole bunch of things. I mean, I'll make some ice cream with them, but for the most part, why don't I have ice cream? I have all the parts, I think. I'll probably need to upgrade the cauldron. Well, the next upgrade's like the butcher thing, which I believe uses silver. Well, I'm afraid there's a conspiracy going on that Bonemass is going to die and we're going to be able to get some silver. Oh, that's copper. Okay. I forgot to load the metal in. Getting there. Next it'll be iron processing because I got a bunch of crypts to hit up. Well, not a bunch, but a few. At least 3, 4. Alright, so we are pretty much to the point where I can kill Bonemass. I've got the thing done, the wall is done there. Let's sit down and think about this. Give me my notepad. Now, except I want to wear the iron armor, which means I need to be processing iron next. Finished stone wall done. New pig penny with roof done. Alright. So, I gotta get iron. How'd you get in here again? Wait, this is another base. How'd you get in here at all? Must be a hole in my crafting coverage. Wards have a little bigger area than crafting benches. American history is very convoluted. There's kind of another group in the deep state. How much power they have left. Council of Foreign Relations and what's the other one? Two of them think tanks. You know, that you hear about all the time, they actually have loyalty to the British Crown. So, well, the British Crown and the R family work together closely, so you could say that they're more, you know, banker faction than anything else. But they have a lot of sway in the government, way more than they should have. Now the Clintons are Prescott Bush mafia, which is definitely banker. Okay, so Prescott Bush being the father of H.W. Bush, who was a banker for the Nazis, in league with the R family, because the R family and Rockefellers financed the Nazis too, as well as Ford Motor Company and GM and other companies like that, working with them in their early days. You know who didn't get in trouble? None of them corporations. Volkswagen's still around, Siemens still around. I mean, all of them are still around. Bayer, Pfizer, being a pharmaceutical company over 100 years, they haven't cured one disease. We give them tons of money for research into diseases to cure them, but they haven't cured one. You know why? It's kind of against their business model. Yeah. All them drugs are based on petroleum. That was the whole Rockefeller's bag, is get rid of all these natural remedies. That's bad for you. And let's make stuff out of petroleum, because we control a lot of that, own a lot of that. Own. I mean, they're selling it all the time. Frankly, I'm of the whole commons thing. I think if you get it out of the earth, man, it belongs to the country, not to them. I'm sorry. Oh, they won't dig it. Somebody will fucking dig it up. If they don't make outrageous profits, nobody's gonna do it. Oh, bullshit. Somebody's gonna dig it up. People be out there with fucking pickaxes. I'm digging an oil well. It's fucking America. Somebody will dig it up. Don't have to protect these companies that rape everybody's pocketbook whenever they have a chance to. Scare up a little war, and oh, there we go. Oil prices up again. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call this. And the next thing we will be doing is, well, I'm gonna be mining iron offline, because it ain't no fun to watch. Could wait till evening and go looking for race again, but I don't think the one by Bonemass has a lot of race. Where else do we have swamp? Then you get this one. No, that's not it. Here's the Bonemass swamp. That's not there. There's a portal here now. I think over here. Because you get this big swamp over here. The problem going over there is it borders the plains. Both here and here. So it's like you have to cross the plain to go check the other area. I wonder how big this is. I hope it's big, but it's probably a mountain in here. I should really go explore there, but I don't want to do that without iron armor. This armor is good, anti-mosquito, but you're going to have a better armor rating for things like, you know, full lengths hitting you with fires and clubs and swords and all that. We're not going to have any better food until we get silver. Then we will have wolf skewers. We will have, well, we already got our stamina food. We're using onion soup. And don't remember. Wolf skewers. The wolves. The skewers. What is the other health food? I do have a bunch of sea serpent. I guess I could make some of that. That would help. Do sea serpent and sausages. I'd rather do wolf skewers than sea serpent. I'm gonna do that. And then I will definitely be able to tank even maybe possibly a 2-star filling. Maybe. I do have I have a black metal shield, so that will make a difference. But not having a better weapon than an iron sword, yeah, I definitely ain't clearing no plains. Even with that food, I wouldn't be clearing the plains bases, which is what I really need to do in the plains. I don't need to be running around trying to get guys for black metal. The best thing is to clear the bases, and you definitely need better health to do that. You know what? Let's go buy some stuff. Well, it's been about an hour and a half, though. I went to the wrong place. Did I open that? No, I guess we'll find out in a minute. Come back to if I did. I think I did come through and empty it though. I open it. Yep. Come back. What do you want? I want your diet. My damn wastelands, the ever-expanding American frontier. And I have cut my intake of food. I just keep growing my belly anyway. I don't know why. Not enough exercise. Alright. Hello? Shucks. That's not nice. Oh. Didn't need to take those mushrooms. How much you got in there? Oh, wow. Did you deal with an archer for that shit? I feel put upon. I kind of feel dumb that I didn't realize my weapon wasn't out because I just swam, but other than that, put upon. So the Federal Reserve has to crash fiat money and get their digital money so that they're not being spied on by the other group. That's the whole push behind that. Plus, they went to digital money because, wow, that's crazy. They like crazy. Crazy as in they can deny you at the point of sale making a purchase because they don't want you to make it. You ain't gonna start out like that, but it could end there. And they can put expiration dates on money, which is, what the fuck? You know, there's all kinds of things they can do with programmable money, which is, none of it's good for the regular guy. They pretend like it's good for you, but it's only good for them. Imagine taking, your money, cash, and putting it in your pocket and going to the store, and then you get to the store, and the cashier says, I need to see your ID. And you're like, what? Let's say you're getting a 6-pack of beer. Okay, then you understand it, right? Okay, but let's say you're buying some toilet paper. They need to see your ID. I'm sorry. We can't sell you toilet paper. You bought some 3 weeks ago. You should have enough toilet paper left. You need to use less toilet paper. Sorry. Alright. Yeah. Programmable money, baby. Except, you're not having to give your ID to the cashier. You're just, trying to buy something. It's part of the money. They're like, well, no, you can't get your toilet paper, man, because you should have some left. Never mind that your kid flushed, threw 2 rolls into the toilet. I don't think they're going to be very flexible on things that they don't want to be flexible on. They're already making it so you can't go to the bank and take out your own damn money for a purchase. It's crazy. That was rude. Can't believe I missed you. It's happening in other countries too, because it's all the same group of our family guys. The R's. Retarded. No. They're not retarded. They are very circumspect. They're the world's bankers. Quite frankly, for them, the American Federal Reserve, they're like, yeah, well, we got it locked down everywhere else. They don't want his people talking about it, though. It's always like that, though. Programmable money. So that's like taking Bitcoin another level up. They can't change Bitcoin, so they're dealing with it. They can't stop it either. So what they've done is they regulate the companies that if you go through a company that you get it from, I had to move because a private equity firm bought all my landlord's apartment buildings, 7 buildings. So, boop, brand new company named Enigma with a small e, and their logo is upside down question mark. I'm sure they're buying people though, and they pretty much evicted everybody, which technically would be illegal. They just didn't renew the leases though, so that's not illegal. They didn't renew anybody's leases. Mine, fortunately, had been just renewed before they bought the other company, so I actually ended up having a year. But I got to watch everybody else leaving as their leases came up for renewal, and talking to people, and yep, they shouldn't renew the lease. And there's nothing you can do about that. So they had some patience, right? Because they're gonna win anyway. What the hell? This is very rude. Forgot to pick up my firewood again. What? I'm gonna go through. I changed my mind. I realized it would all fit in there. Probably not next time, but huh. Must have been here. Of course, you know, that's going to be central bank digital currency is going to be connected to a digital ID. They're not going to happen independently. Go to, I don't remember what it was. They got a new website. The government does. It's basically, you can get everything done there at one website. Yeah, you know what they're going to do. Well, they already done it to, like, veterans. Okay. So, in order to log into the VA website to get my VA documents, you know, you have an account, because there's an account connected to your identity. And that was fine for, I wonder if I can get up, 2000. But it actually wasn't on that site until like 2007, which was fine until, 21 or so, I think. Maybe 22. And then it's like, can't log into your account. So I contact tech support, and they're like, you have to go to this ID.me company, private company that's going to identify me. Okay, so that the government knows it's me. Government knows goddamn well it's me, but okay. So first I had to upload my ID and social security card, get a picture of them and upload them, and then I had to do a video call. They had to do a video call. They wouldn't, you're not getting into the website unless you do this. Where no doubt they are, getting that facial biometric data. Shoot him in the kneecap. Oh no, new guy spawned. Ouch. Let me get in there, get that spawn out of it. Damn it! Just gonna be these guys. I see your one-star ass. Yeah, well, I'm like, what the fuck, okay? Because, well, don't we got enough corporate bullshit going on with the government that we got to go to a private company? That was my opinion at the time. I'm like, why? Just why do we need a private company to check a veteran's ID so that they can log into the VA website? I just don't understand. Oh, because they're corporatizing it all, yeah, we're cutting government workers, yeah, and giving more money to the corporations to get workers. So, and that costs more. Okay, so you're not saving anybody money by firing government workers. All you're doing is, filling the corporate coffers. So it's not like they need less people to do the things. Well, they do that too. That's why some of the wait times are atrocious. Okay, for example, the VA pretty much given up on hiring doctors. They're all volunteers because they never have the money, and when they can't get volunteers, I've seen a heck of a lot of nurse practitioners instead of doctors. That, it's something that's not, I guess, doctor worthy. You're going to be seeing a nurse practitioner, but my normal yearly appointment has always been with a nurse practitioner. Well, that's not true. One year, I had a girl who just graduated University of Pennsylvania. She's working at Freighter now. She She only lasted a couple months at the VA. But she was an actual VA employee, and I was like, wow, a doctor who's a VA employee. Yeah, like I said, it didn't last. Probably because he was shopping around for a job, you know? Thought I'd be aggressive that time. There wasn't a spawn in there, though. Well, looks like we're getting full here. I might want to go back. Yeah, okay. Did I get everything on there? Alright. And they're doing it all across the board. Well, now they got a new website, which I'm very sure is going to require getting a digital ID of some type. Oh, missed some rubies. Didn't have my light before, though. Just because I forgot to put it on. Seem to want to be ambushing me in this one. Where's my wraith to attack me? Disappointed. Yeah, I think we're gonna run through, get us our resident bonus and all that. Kinda hard to get in the swamp. Fix the old pickaxe before it breaks. But yeah, I just saw, I don't know, I haven't been really watching YouTube too much, but last time I was on YouTube, like 5 or 6 commercials about it. I just can't remember the name of it. Something got dubbed, like, and they're selling it as like, you know, for the everyday person who needs government help. Yeah, because the other guys don't have to fill out any paperwork. They just say, hey, I need money, and you guys give them money. Yeah, the corporations and the rich. Biggest social welfare there is. To the tune of trillions. What all I got? Okay, let's start with these boxes overflow. I got bones up in here. Oh, that one's full. And we got leather scraps, which is going to be full soon. I got money stuff. I'm going to hang this on the wall. Trophies, that's mine. So if you use this thing, don't forget this is the poison resist part of the armor set. You may regret using the little trinket, the verger circlet, to be able to see, but it's a very nice, convenient thing. But don't forget, if you're used to running around with the anti-poison, that you better bring some needs with you. I have trophies. That's it for there, and then I have some kind of arrows here. We get iron and poison arrows. How convenient. We got the withered bones and the money stuff, and that's about it for over here. And then we get food. Oh, that's getting full too. No actual money. No fiat currency for us. Yeah, so they're going to get rid of fiat currency so that they have the programmable money and can hide their doings more, privacy. And it's more privacy for them than you because programmable money is going to be a nightmare. As soon as somebody gets in office who's a real dickhead, you say, wow, you're not getting soda with your food stamps. Well, not that you get money with food stamps. You don't get money. That hasn't happened in quite some time. You have an EBT card. EBT card. I'm looking on the wrong side. Mine just went up. Oh, I have to see now. I have to do paperwork, and my rent's probably gonna go up. So, why did my food stamps go up $10? I have no idea. Just send me a letter saying it goes up $10. Keep history of records, whatever. But I have to report it to HUD, and HUD will recalculate the rent that I pay, and it'll end up being more than that $10. Just the way the whole thing works. Trust me. I got my $25 a month yearly thing in January. They dropped my food stamps from $76 to $25. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Your income increased by $25, but they dropped, 50 some off my food stamps. Alright. So I talked to the old Grockmeister. He said, do this. And I did that, and it worked. They didn't cheat or anything. They used a lump sum thing to calculate. And I said, I want to itemize my stuff. My electric and gas and phone and internet, although they're not counting internet yet. My internet's 110, 118 now. They're doing the $2 thing again. Okay, they do this every once over Spectrum. Every once in a while, like, it was 116 last month. Well, yeah, last bill I paid. And then it was 118 this month. It'll be 120 next month. They'll do it 5 or 6 times so people really start bitching. Why is it going up? I guess because data centers. They'll blame it on that, I'm sure. I'm gonna go in here. I'm wandering around because I'm thinking, why do I only have 15 minutes? I want 20. When you get a good comfort in a place, you don't really have to sit down to get it. 9 times out of 10 if you get good, even comfort around. Mine's kind of uneven. Okay, we got food, we got comfort. Back in the tunnel trying to make it pay. So the commercial wasn't for VA people. It wasn't VA at all. It was general government and like all your benefits. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, what about my VA account? Well, I don't know. But see, I'm about to wipe my computer and I guess, oh, I got that uneven over there. I went the wrong way. I gotta fix that. I don't remember to do that. It just bothers me. I went to the wrong orifice. That's what she said. And I said, I'm sorry about that. I already have one of those. I don't want to use that. lot of stuff to pick up already. Gonna be a lot of stuff over there too. So, I think it's their backdoor to digital ID is what they're doing. At least they'll get all the people on government. I don't know, some other incentive system that they pulled out their ass that isn't part of the food stamp law. In fact, oh, we're following our contract. These people don't qualify, you know, but in fact they did qualify under the federal law. And so there's so much money going to these private companies, public-private partnership, also known as fascism or corporatism. Okay. It's just, you know, you blaming somebody with a fucking shopping cart full of stuff when really the costs are not going to that person, even if, you know, I've seen some outrageous shit with that. But, you know, that's not the real problem. The real problem is the corporatism is in there. So, technically, the government is getting smaller. The government part of it, they're throwing more money at the corporations. So then, instead of talking to somebody from the government, you're talking to somebody from a corporation who's like, hey, it's my job, you know, and they gotta do their job. Not their job isn't to worry about you, their job is to worry about their job. Now HUD is administered by the county, so that's a good thing. But it's a federal program. There's no feds involved in that I talked to. They're all county employees. They kind of even got rid of their office. They all work at home now. Sweet gig. Send an email, ask a question, see how long that takes to get answered. Unless you rattle the cage. Oh, did I forget to take this stuff out? Obviously. Man, I gotta go back already? Cool. That didn't. What are we at? 429 of 510. We can get a couple more things in here. Gotta get all the mushrooms and everything. Give this a few whacks. So I haven't had to use that new website. In fact, I just heard about it. It's been a couple weeks, I guess, first time I heard it. Half heard it. Sounds like I watch commercials. So we're still allowed to skip them. I'm sure that'll change. The way things are going. Well. We get it all? I think we did. Alright, but we are 505 of 510. So where are we ending? Oh, we're ending right here. That's very nice. Oh. Scrap iron right here I can't pick up. Oh, maybe. Nope. How much does one scrap iron weigh? 10 pounds. Okay. The more you know. There's some other scraps all the way up here. Just go through. So, that's what I imagine is going to happen. I mean, it was coming. We saw it coming. I mean, for example, we don't get checks in the VA anymore. It's all direct deposit. If you don't have a bank account, well, you can get a debit card from them. Which kind of operates like a debit card for the most part. I don't know how the Social Security works. But I know in 2000, before my mother died, it was, she was getting direct deposit. Did she have to? I don't know. It could be that they do it like the VA now. So, what happens to people who can't get a direct deposit for whatever reason, you know? What's going on back there? Nothing back there, huh? So why would the DODs do something like that? To save the country. The boomers are all retiring. Then you get the other faction who wants to destroy the fiat money system. And the one that wants to save it. And the best they can come up with is kill the older population, except their little biowarfare thing didn't quite work the way they wanted. There's probably something lost in translation. A lot of people knew it was coming because in November of 2019, it was already out. But that's when USAID stopped funding that lab. I know they talk about that other company all the time, but they don't talk about USAID was funding it too. Because we knew about that because there's documents online. The people who investigate things said, guess it's time for the pandemic. Yeah. And then they're announcing it in, end of December. But supposition is that it was out before then. Whether intentionally or not, stuck any debt. Who knows? Man, we can't. They don't put the motives in the documents. I did it again! He did it again! I've been going through this portal a lot. Alright, wise guy. Gotta train the old brain. Wow, that's a dead end right here. Bummer. See, I thought we were doing so good, and then they didn't even give me an entire section. Oh, what the fuck? Did I go to the wrong place? Because this is all done. Well, I guess we're collecting stuff off the ground. But the way it's going, it being America, I mean, they're making homelessness illegal while they're letting the private equity firms buy all the apartments and houses and raise the rent on everybody. What is that all about? Do they really want a revolution? Is that what they're doing? I mean, because you can't tell me these guys are too stupid to realize what's going on. They don't admit what's going on, ever. They never tell you the truth, even if the truth is apparent. But this is something I've learned in 60 years. Okay, but they have to realize what's going on. Okay, so somebody is pushing to make homelessness illegal, not just people saying, well, these drug users. Well, it's not all drug users. Where do you think the people who can't go live with mom and dad go when they can't afford an apartment anymore? When their rent just went up $1,000 a month, you know? Do they just like, oh, I'm going to get some drugs and go live on the street because I got to be a drug user to live on the street? No, they're making it illegal to live in your car. They're making it illegal to, the van life is illegal now, pretty much everywhere. They're like, it's ridiculous, okay? And they're not helping the homeless. California is a prime example. Would they spend $40 billion over the past 10 years or something? Okay, homelessness went up. How's that happen? Well, obviously, where they're spending the money isn't working, which is private companies who have no accountability. Where the hell are you going, man? Come over here and try to bite me. Ooh, good. Nighttime. Here, I'll get a wraith. I need to chain. I don't know what I need to chain for yet, but chain is used for things. What is this? It's like meadows. Now I want the headlamp again. So that's going on, and we're about to have the auto thing that we've been talking about since 2000. I guess they put it on hold because it was supposed to come ahead in 2000. What auto thing? Subprime auto loans. I get them every day. Unfortunately, I lost my van when I moved in December. It broke down. I couldn't afford to fix it because I spent all my money first looking for an apartment, which should be illegal, but earnest fees, and then two's not giving your money back for their earnest fee. And so, Elite, where are you? Oh, got the iron sledge. That reminds me, I gotta make a battle axe. I got Chortle. I saw you at the last second. I saw the glow. I didn't actually see him. I did block, but didn't really seem to help much. I mean, I had my back to him. Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Jogger, leads, raise. Neighborhood's gone all to hell. Damn homeless, drug using race all over the place. We're pretty much exploring the whole swamp. I'm seeing chortle all over, so... Hello, how you doing? I know you guys, you try to run. I must be aggressive. I think I saw some over here. Yeah, I think so. Where's the ankle biters? There's one. What we got here? Oh, we got low-hanging fruit. I got something for that. Uh-oh. Hello. Let me get my club. I like my club. Let's go read the Draugr rune. Is he fighting a leech out there? Oh, we dead now. Oh, it's a bear fighting somebody. Skells? Oh. Strange going on in the swamp. Goings-ons. Goings-ons. Goings-on. I think beyond is not plural. Hey, how you doing? Prefer not to fight in the water. There's liable to be some more of these guys here. Did I get both of those entrails? There's usually like 3 guys protecting this thing. Come over here where it's yellow. Thank you. Okay, I should be able to read this. Long time ago, Valheim. Proud noble people. They built towers. La la la. Oh, they're pride. It was pride. I knew it. In other words, they were assholes. Pissed off Odin. Odin destroyed them. But they were too prideful to die. Seems like there's old bloodlines like that in the real world. That's why you don't fight in the water. I got stuff over there to get. Is that an archer? Hey, here's Odin. Checking me out, huh? He likes my cut of my jib there. Maybe I should change outfits a few times. You like me even better. I call it outfits because it's a girl character. Guy would normally say clothes. And then there's this guy. What's going on? Got a one-star drugger. Stop that. Oh, I saw some leeches. Anybody else want some? Oh, okay. We got something for you. Odin watching over me, boy. Guess we got them all. I saw some chortle here, though. Thought I did. Well, we're almost back to the crypt. There it is. I see it. There's iron, too. I like iron. Hold up. Let me get my big, long stick to poke you with. I like to poke you with the stick. Wow, we got the Blob twins back there. They didn't even get to put their poison off. So it's kind of a waste on my part. Oh well. I see some chortle over there. I don't know. Something I missed. Something just came up. I don't know. Well, that's my cue though. When it says you're not rested anymore, it's time to leave. That's 2 pieces of iron. Guess I just missed that spot. That's all. Then you got a farming crisis going on, just like the 70s. Up in the 70s, it was sanctions against Russia and other countries. Now it's tariffs. Nobody wants to buy the small farmers stuff because the big farmers have had the market within America sewn up since the 70s. The only one growing for export, which is like 30% of our stuff, has been, you know, small farmers. What else we got? Alright. Well, now they can't sell their stuff, and they had bad crop last year. It's like, alright, now you're gonna have homeless farmers. Yeah, but those guys won't be so easy to move. You know, you take your farm away, you know where you end up, the infantry. They're gonna have a bunch of homeless farmers who probably do have family they can stay with, but pissed off farmers are not what you really want. Not if you're sane. That's, you know, they're not really sane though. Oh no! Let's throw them in with the axes. You don't belong in there, but... Huh. Drugger Elite. Didn't go in automatically. We got enough skill stuff. Chain and food. Now, I did not see another crypt all the way through there, so I guess there isn't one. People won't have cars to get to work because they're going to replace people's cars, because that's what subprime loans are all about. Repossess your house. Oh, well, we're stupid to get the loan. Yeah, well, has anybody been paying attention to inflation? People got to drive to get to work. They'll take those variable rate loans. In 1 minute you're saying homeless people are bad, and now you're saying these guys are bad because they didn't want to be homeless. No, I'm confused. They shouldn't have taken a loan. Well, they didn't have a job. They can't pay the rent. And there you go, homeless. Guess they're drug users too. People who wanted to buy a car so they can get to work. Same thing happened. All the guys who caused the crisis got rewarded. Mnuchin ended up in, what was he, Secretary of Treasury? Jesus Christ, you put the fucking fox in the hen house. Fucking ridiculous. Clown world. Put the fucking fox in the hen house, and then, you know, Kamala, who didn't prosecute him, put her in the hen house too. Alright. It's all ridiculous. It's fucking clown world. And everybody's like, oh, left and the right, the left and the right, the left and the right. Fuck your left and right. Nobody gives a shit about your left and right. You know, pull your head out your ass. That's what you need to do, people. Just pull your head out from your anus, look around a little bit, and see who the real enemy is. Well, because it ain't your neighbor. Unless you're living in a rich neighborhood. And people living in a rich neighborhood aren't confused by the left and the right, because I know they all do the bidding of the same people, the rich. Wonder why nothing gets done. Princeton do that study? It said 90, more than 90% of all the laws are passed because the rich wanted them passed. They weren't what the American people wanted. I know it's more than 90, but I'm just going to go with 90. I know it was 90 something. And yet, they think somehow electing another guy who says exactly what they want to say but doesn't get in trouble for lying is going to change something. I'm confused. I'm always confused, though. I'm an old man. This time it'll be different. That's the definition of insanity. It's been going on my entire life. This time it'll be different. No hope and change? No hope and change for you. But you got a Nobel Peace Prize before you even did anything, which is really weird. But okay. No make America great again for you. He gave the military a raise and he took it back 3 months later. Raise was the fanfare, and 3 months later they took it back. Not a word in the press. That was Reagan. Yes, that was his campaign slogan, Reagan's Make America Great Again. Okay. Now, the Make America Great Again people nowadays don't even know that was Reagan's campaign slogan. That's kind of funny. In a weird way. Alright, chewing on some crackers and little packets. We're going to end this. My entire life, from Reagan onward. Oh, wait a minute. I voted for Jimmy Carter. In a civics class in high school. He didn't win that election. Reagan won it. In 1980, right? Went in the military in 83. Oh, there it is. Alright, where's the head thing? I gotta hang it up. What about this thing? She had a buzz cut there for a second. I have to move that portal, but I don't know where. You know what? I am gonna look though. I'm gonna probably have to take a boat through. There's nothing left in that swamp, and well, there is land there, but we'll see where we are. Well, I'll get the iron out of here too. Right. This is where Hilda is in the merchant. There's an old baby swamp there, but I really doubt there's anything there. It looks like some plains under here. I think I'll probably come down here and explore this island and see what all's there. And then figure what I'm going to do. Well, I'm going to take a boat through the portal and bring the iron home, baby. How much did we get? Hey, almost a full chest. Get 18 in the long ship. 18 slots. I think I'll explore before I come and get this for. Did a boo-boo. Might want that when I go exploring. Okay, so that's where we are. I'm gonna explore that island. If there's nothing else there to mine, I'm just gonna take that iron that we got there and hope it's enough for a set of iron armor. I don't think it is actually. Not upgraded. Each piece is like 30. Oh, okay, it's 20. What do I got left here? One piece. It's only really 3 pieces, so I think we'll be okay with that. I just have to get back here and process it. And I do want to make an iron sledge, because I got a good, club score. But I'd also like to get an iron, Valheim. Wow, 35? What was the sledge again? Wow. Expensive stuff. That's about the only 2 weapons I don't have at this point. I should make this. Should make this. I'm not going to use that, but I can make it. Well. After I get my armor and upgrade the armor. And then we're killing the Bonemass. I'm still going to need more iron, but, I think with that iron I should be able to get a set of armor and upgrade it at least once, maybe twice. Most of the armor goes to 4, so, but that'll be enough to hold off the mobs while I'm fighting the Bonemass. I'm going to eat before I log out. So, just, I've already made up a ton of poison resist, but, so I'm ready on that front. Is there anything else I need to make? I need a good club. We're going to get the irons. Wait, is the sledge? The sledge is one hand, right? Like the Frostner? Because I like to use the Frostner, but, no Frostner for me. Is the sledge one-handed? Because if it's two-handed, I don't know if I want it. Where'd it go? Two-handed. Oh, I want the Frostner. Yeah, so I have 0 two-handed. Well, I don't know. Yeah, see? There's going to be a separate category for that sledge. I'll have no skill with it, which means they'll be slow. Two-handed are slow anyway, but yeah. Frostner requires silver. I usually find a deposit. I should really go to the mountains and just wander around, kill some wolves, avoid some stone golems, shoot some annoying birds. But the Frostner would... Where's my clubs? I got a 46. Even with the unnecessary death. I'll think about it. Maybe we'll go to the mountains too and just find some mountains we haven't been to, because I was looking around when I'm up there for silver, but it's easy to miss. And the only other way you can do it is kill Bonemass.